Hey guys, this is Jordan Winter and you're watching No Free Lunches. Today we're here in Lawrence, Kansas trying to find the best cocktail. Hope you're thirsty.
Oh my.
I'm here at Lark Affair, one of the newest bars in Lawrence that celebrates the Midwest with its take on craft cocktails. Located at the corner of 9th and New Hampshire, Lark Affair was named Best Designed Bar in Lawrence from Architectural Digest. Natural light coming in through the floor-to-ceiling windows break up the industrial vibe you get from Edison bulbs and polished concrete. It makes for a warm and inviting experience, perfect for sipping cocktails or enjoying a bite with friends. All right. Hey Kyle, thank you so much for having us tonight.
Yeah, it's really great for you to be in. Thank you.
So what have you got in store for us?
So for our first cocktail, we're gonna go off our highball list. We're gonna do the Heartland Highball. So this is gonna be built of whiskey. For this one, we use J. Rieger Co. It's a Kansas City brand of whiskey. Ginger beer. And then from there, we're gonna touch it up with a little bit of lemon, a wheat syrup, which we make in-house by using, it's like a wheat barley that they use for brewing beer. And we add more sugar and more water to that to make a syrup out of it. And then we add lemongrass. What's cool about our highballs on our cocktails, we're actually able to produce those all off of a tap system that we built. And I'm done.
Beautiful and simple.
Super simple, hopefully delicious.
That's really delicious. I like how the lemongrass kind of has that interplay with the lime, so it's got that good citrusy flavor to it. I actually didn't know that horse feathers had any roots in Lawrence, but can you tell us about that story?
It's definitely a Midwest cocktail. I guess there's a little bit controversy as to where it actually came from, but I mean there are very credible sources from big name cocktail enthusiasts who have been in the game for a long time who actually do claim that the horse feather was started in Lawrence, Kansas, which is pretty cool for Lawrence to have its own popular cocktail. So our second cocktail is going to be off our punch and sour section of our menu. This is my personal favorite on our menu. It's called the Imperial Punch. So the first ingredient that goes into this cocktail is Japanese whiskey. We're going to touch that up with a blend of rums. So we do a house blend. This is a blend of 4 different rums. So we're hitting Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, 2 different islands with the blends of rums that we use. And then we're gonna add sweet dessert wine, late bottled vintage port, and raspberry syrup, lemon juice, and bitters. Making a punch style cocktail, delicious, super easy to drink, bright, juicy, all those things. So we'll just get into that. So I think we're the only Lawrence location that's importing ice from Kansas City, but the difference is great. You get these nice crystal clear ice cubes, just a little bit of nutmeg over the top.
Wow.
Please enjoy.
Yes. First of all, you gotta love the color here. It's bright, got a very nice, vibrant color of red. Let's see how this baby tastes. That's really tasty because you can get the balance between the fruit and the spice. So it kind of seems like a mix between a summer and fall drink. A little bit of the best of both worlds. So can you tell me actually about why you decided to make the flavor combination with the fruit and the spice?
When looking at doing like a punch style cocktail, the first thing I looked at was rum. I didn't want to stick to one specific island of rum, so I started with a blended rum first, and then what I wanted to do was accent a little bit of baking spice within that cocktail, and that's kind of where the Japanese whiskey came into play. It's not too over the top, it's not too spicy in flavor, it's not too like Americanized in like its flavor, like being an all grain whiskey, so there's some malt that goes in there, which is kind of like a softer tone, and then just working off of those flavors and looking for a fruit and a citrus that really would help balance those out. And that's where I landed on raspberry. Not too tart, not too sweet. It was just kind of that perfect in between. And then lemon juice is just the part of the cocktail that adds some acidity to it, which kind of balances the sweetness from the other ingredients. We work off those spices a little bit with some bitters, and then the nutmeg over the top just kind of rounds it all out. So your next cocktail is going to be the Campfire Kansas. The name comes from some of the flavors that you're going to taste in it. So we're going to use the burlesque bitters. This is going to do two things. It's going to add a little bit of flavor to it, but it's also going to help with the color of the name. This is a house-made shrub. So this shrub is habanero peach and cinnamon. Half ounce of lime, a half ounce of orange juice. So using, both vitamin C and citric acid in this is going to help balance the acidity out. This is a mix of reposado tequila and mezcal. So on the rim of the glass, we do black salt. That's also been blended with applewood smoked salt as well. So it's going to kind of highlight some of the smoky flavor that you get from the mezcal. And that is your Campfire Kansas.
Yeah, so you can see all of this beautiful black salt around the side. That's kind of the ash on it. And you got the bright glowing orange color. And it really does stay true to that campfire vibe just because it has the very bright flavor. You get a nice smoky back end from the mezcal, but it isn't overpowering.
Really great cocktail. This is an every season cocktail. I mean, you can have this in winter. You can have this on a hot summer day. And it's our best seller for a reason. I think people can really vibe with this cocktail. It drinks really well. And it's one of those ones at the finish of it, you're wanting a second one immediately.
Agreed.
Also, the name is really fun. It comes from the Get Up Kids, who have a song on one of their albums called Campfire Kansas, and it's a song about them, hanging out with their buddies in the middle of nowhere around the campfire in Kansas. And I think it just works.
It does. Cheers to that.
Next cocktail on our list is going to be the Lark Affair cocktail. A pretty straightforward play on an old fashioned. So we're going to start with aromatic bitters. So our house aromatic is actually a blend of 3 different aromatic style bitters. The sweetener that we're going to use in this one is maple syrup that's been smoked with applewood in-house. Our chef does this for us. We take B-grade maple syrup, put it in a pan, put it in our smoker, and we smoke it for 2 hours. So it's got a really nice smoky flavor to it. And then the blend that we're going to use in our batch is going to be a blend of our house blended bourbon, which is actually a blend of 5 different bourbons. We use Copper and King's apple brandy, and then late bottled vintage port wine. Adds just a little touch of sweetness to it, and kind of that cherry note that you expect out of an old fashioned, which is kind of nice. Same really nice crystal clear ice that we use. I'm gonna pour that right over the top. And then this is gonna get a flamed orange spritz.
So what exactly does the orange spritz do?
So it's going to add that essence of orange over it. Similar to burning the orange peel, one of the things that we focus on is minimal waste. We have orange oils, lemon oil, lime oil to do spritzes over our cocktails, minimizing garnishes on our drinks. Burning it is just it's gonna kind of toast those oils as they come out, and it's gonna kind of give you that it's really a burnt orange flavor that you get, and the essence in your nose. It's more about aromatics than anything.
Yeah, as soon as you put your kind of face up to it, so you start to sip it, you can really get that orange.
And it really helps soften the cocktail, with what you're breathing in on the aromatics of the drink. As you take that first sip, it's going to kind of soften out any harsh tones.
Thanks for having us, Kyle. To watch the rest of the series on Lauren's cocktails, head over to nofreelunches.co, where I cover Bon Bon, John Brown's Underground, and the Bourgeois Pig. Stay up to date by following us on Instagram and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching.